name's Sue Cooper, and Sarah McLean, the director of the Feast for the Soul, welcomes you also, and Susie von Mensenkampf. The three of us are in partnership to bring Feast for the Soul into a daily live meditation, and it's been extraordinarily successful. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. So today it's a very special day because it's a new moon. And a new moon means new beginnings. And today we are joined by a beautiful friend, Arti Ghattaora, who lives in Nottingham, fairly close to me. Arti is a medical doctor and then went on to train further in Ayurveda, moved out to India for many years to work with Sadhguru in his ashram in India, in the Restorative and Rejuvenation Centre. Arti is skilled in so many ways, and I really would like, Arti, for you to be able to share a little bit more about yourself. We're thrilled that you're here to perform a New Moon Odyssey for us, so intrigued to know what that's all about, and at this very special time as we've just moved into the age of Aquarius. So may I welcome Arti, may I welcome you all to this Feast for the Soul today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sue, for that very warm welcome, and thank you all on the platform for having me here today. It's always a pleasure to be on this platform, and I'm thankful that I got invited. I won't go into too much detail about what my background is, and I'm going to take you straight into the journey of what today is. And today we're sitting with the new moon, which is connected into a star nakshatra called Ganesha in Capricorn and then into Aquarius. And this is symbolized by the primordial drum. And unfortunately, I don't have a drum which will play quite in the same way, but this primordial drum, the closest connection we have to that sound is when we're in our sort of fetal state and we hear the sort of symbiotic relationship we have with our mother and the heart which beats and that primordial sound which comes together. It gives us a sort of a sensitivity towards this idea of family, tribe, a connectedness. And in a way, it's consciousness way, it's the way the consciousness drives into us this idea that there is this sound which we need to keep connected into. And interestingly enough, today is also, according to the yogic and Vedic tradition, this is called the Mauna Amavasya. So Mauna Amavasya, Mauna means silence. And so here we are in that paradox. We have the nakshatra, which is awakening and alerting us to the sound of this drum. And on the other hand, we have to maintain a sense of silence. So really, if we merge those two ideas, what we're coming into is go into that external and inner silence, and then come into that sense of sound within you, which is happening all the time, and bringing a sense of awareness into it. So what I'm going to ask you all to do, if I may, is we're going to walk into this new moon meditation with these sensitivities of this silence, becoming a bit more withdrawn, and withdrawn not necessarily from what we are or where we are, but more withdrawn from being sort of constantly stimulated in our senses. And this star right now is being ruled by Mars. So Mars is about rebirthing. And we know that the new moon generally anyway, it's just a wonderful time, to connect with the self, to set forth your new goals, whatever that may be, whether that's for your around love or finances or your career or whatever you feel is the most important. But the important thing is this particular Mars is allowing us to go through that rebirthing process. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to create a certain ambience for all of us so that we can gather and go into that inward space. And one of the first things I'm going to get you all to do is a little exercise. And I might take my glasses off so you can see what I'm doing. I can't see myself. So the first thing we're all going to do is just put your finger by your nostrils, and I want you to figure out which side is more dominant, the right or the left. Where is the breath more dominant? Just figure it out, okay? And once you've identified, so what you then do, where the nostril is least dominant, in my case, it's this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this eye movement, okay? So this eye movement is, the idea behind this eye movement is I'm activating my optic nerve. The optic nerve is connecting into the back of my brain, which is the thalamus, hypothalamus. And the whole point of that is basically I'm creating, through my sense of sight and eyes and movement, I'm activating the hypothalamus to actually awaken the neuroendocrine system, to awaken certain hormones inside my body. Because if I'm to come into this space of silence, I need the support of the right kind of hormones. And this is a beautiful exercise to do generally for people anyway. So what we do is we swing the eyes to the least dominant, and you take it up in an arc, you bring it to the other side, you take it back up, and arc to the left again, in my case. Up, and then back down, bring it up, and bring it down. And I want you to do that 3 times, 3 times. So this is to activate the optic nerve 3 times. And you will feel, it's quite exhausting. It does, you may feel a little bit dizzy, but this is, it shows you how disconnected we are from these things and how it's important to maintain this sort of connection with the brain, the sense, and how to bring in a sense of that ambience within ourselves. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to get you to do is bring your fists like this. So the knuckles are touching each other, and you're going to bring them to your heart level here, okay? And what you're going to do is keep this together, and you bring it up as far as you can. Now, if you find yourself stuck somewhere or it's painful, don't let them go. Keep them together. So you're going from here all the way there. And then if you're stuck somewhere, just stay there. And I just want you to breathe. I just want you to breathe. And then bring it back down wherever you are. So what we're aiming for is from here all the way across and get it as close as we can. Okay? So do it about 3 times. Okay, what we're doing here is 1, we're bringing our attention to the solar plexus. We're relaxing the shoulders. Okay? And what we're also doing by focusing on the heart and the solar plexus, we're allowing Vyana Vayu, which is the Vayu for circulation and movement within our system, to activate. And if you do this about 3 times, it should activate your breath in a slightly different way. Okay? And then just release that. And what you may find is you might take a big inhalation after that and an exhalation. You might find your breath changing. Just pay attention to that, okay? Now, the third thing we're going to do, and I'm going to just show you the mudra. So this is the Ganesha mudra. You're all going to hold the Ganesha mudra and make sure the Ganesha mudra is just about above your navel, okay? Above your navel. So I'm just going to sit back. So it's the right one, right hand clasping the left, and just have it above, just a little bit above your navel center. So the navel center, and just bring your shoulders down, bring your shoulders down. And now close your eyes. And I just want you to bring your attention to your breath and just watch that breath on the right and the left nostril and feel the sensations just at the nostrils right now. So we've opened up the thalamus gateway and the hypothalamus, and we're activating the principle of the neuroendocrine system to open up the pituitary gland, the gland which is sitting between the eyebrow center. And it's actually helping us to actually soothe that space. It's also the space where the sex hormones in our body are cultured from, specifically the testosterone. And for both men and women, this is a very important hormone. But aside of that, through this neuroendocrine system, what we're getting is we're allowing a sense of ease, and the focus between the eyebrow center allows us to just relax that space. And just keep your eyes closed, keep them closed, and just walk with me as I take you through that journey. And you're holding Ganesha mudra. So Ganesh is an upholder. I mean, the archetype of Ganesh is that he's an upholder of strength and power. He's a wonderful listener. His eyes are very small, depicting a focused attention to life. He has a big belly, which shows that he can digest all the good and the bad in life. And he has only one tusk, which actually shows that you do away with the things which are not great and you hold on to that which is working for you, which is the good inside that you want to retain. And since we're sitting in this conjunct of the planets moving right now, we're tuning into the new moon, which is empowering us for turning inward and to be in the space of knowing. And in this conjunct, your soul is like almost a full house of transiting planets right now. And all it's doing, it's allowing you to be in a place where you are able to hear and to listen. And it's very symbolic right now, actually, because it's talking about how during this nakshatra, the moon and the deity which is ruling this is really the protector of the earth. And our awareness with this inner silence is about being able to listen and to take this opportunity to listen to the percussion of sounds which are around us, which are, and the primordial drum. Let's not forget the primordial drum too. So now that we have Ganesh set in our system, we're going to allow him to come and be with us. And Ganesh is that energy, that frequency, which allows all the obstacles to be set aside, and it allows the awakening of a new way to be. And you know, I think Sue beautifully said that we are in the Aquarian age. And what does it mean? The Aquarius is all about alchemy. It's a merging of many, many different ideas. It's culturing new ways to be. It's opening the earth to new ways of existing, as we already know. So hold this Ganesha and allow him to culture that. Just close your eyes and keep them closed. Take a deep breath from your belly and breathe it out and drop your shoulders. Take another deep breath in and breathe it out and drop your shoulders. Take another deep breath in and breathe it out and drop your shoulders. Take a gulp of saliva. Just be a witness and hold this acknowledgement of this great strength of Ganesha. just come together with me and chant Om 3 times. So in this power of listening and sincerity to this primordial sound, we're going to awaken ourselves to that sense of sound. And Om is the first sound that the cosmos decided to release. So let's play that within ourselves. So with me, on the next exhalation, start with Om 3 times. And just watch that sensation and be with that sensation as I awaken Ganapate inside of us. Just be the listening ear for this mantra. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Take a gulp of saliva. Take another deep breath in and breathe it out. And just allow the breath to settle. And since we're going to go into the primordial sound of the drum, bring your attention to the navel. And once your attention is connected to the navel, I want you to release your hands and place them on your lap with your palms facing upwards, keeping your eyes closed. And watch that difference in the breath. And keeping that attention in your navel. This is that junction point where life was breathed into you. So today we are rebirthing. And we are rebirthing to that sound, the primordial sound. And we want to hear that primordial sound. And the only way to do this is maintaining that sense of silence, both from the outer perspective, but also from the inner sense. So it's not about practicing to be silent. It is becoming the silence. And in that sense of inner silence, what happens is that we awaken ourselves to a very deep inner discernment. It allows us to become very aware of our vocal capabilities. In Sanskrit, the word for this is vak. And it relates also to the feminine archetype Saraswati, the primordial mother, the wisdom keeper. So when you go in deeper to your navel, just allow your body to feel that sense of the navel being the only organ in your body that is in existence right now. Feel that navel warming up as you deepen your awareness. That warmth is your connection. And as you go deeper within yourself, that warmth starts translating itself into a more fluid state, a sort of an organic material begins to fill up inside the navel. Just feel that sensation. You were birthed from this place. You connected in your navel to your biological mother. The yogi became an individual. From being suspended in the primordial fluid of life, you took on life and you stayed with the resonance of the mother's heart, which for you was the sound of the primordial drum. And the essence of this drum gave your spirit a sense of satisfaction, a sense of knowing. And it is this knowing that we must cultivate today. This is the knowing which allows us to withdraw from participating in the voice-orientated engagement of life, the sensory engagement of life, connecting through our mouth, through our voice, through the actions of the eyes, and remaining stimulated. Now we go deep into the primordial liquid. And just watch your breath. Feel into that sensation. And since we are sitting at this wonderful quadrant, and the Aquarian energy is the alchemy, it is going to awaken us. And this beautiful energy allows us to maintain a distance from the conflict around us, from those things which are polarizing our patterns, our thought processes, our immunity. Take a deep breath in now. And breathe out and open your mouth and sigh on the exhalation. Take another deep breath in. And open your mouth and sigh on the exhalation. And do it once more in your own time. And sigh. And just allow yourself to sink deeper into this place. Remain connected. And this idea of stillness, this energy which we call in the Vedic tradition or the yogic tradition as Shiva, is this pure consciousness which maintains itself in that sense of stillness because it witnesses this silence, and all it knows is this silence and it's surrounding the primordial matter. No identification. And I want you to remain in this stillness for some time. And we're going to awaken Shiva through Vakya, the voice, the sound, because Shiva cannot exist unless the consort is also merged with him. And we are going to awaken this through a mantra from the Rudram. And the Rudram is a very small piece of the Rudram that I'm going to bring into our space. I want you to stay in your navel and just be with the liquid forming inside the navel. You may feel it as a sense of warmth. You may feel it by way of it being gelatinous. You may feel it just as a tickle. It doesn't matter what it is, but just be with whatever sensation that is inside you right now. And just be with me as I chant a little piece of Rudram. And the Rudram is invoking this sense of Shiva within us because it's residing right there. Take a gulp of saliva right now, keeping your eyes closed, and just be with me. Om Namastaraya Namah Shambhave Cha Mayo Bhave Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. Take a deep breath in for me and breathe it out. Om Namastaraya Namah Shambhave Cha Mayo Bhave Cha Namah Shankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Namah Shivaya Cha Shivataraya Cha. Take a gulp of saliva. Take a deep breath in. Breathe it out. Shivataraya Cha Shivataraya Cha Shivataraya Cha Shivataraya Cha Cha Shivataraya Shivataraya Cha Cha Shivataraya Shivataraya Cha Cha Shivataraya Shivataraya Cha Shivatarayeti Shiva Taraya. Just witness the silence. Take a gulp of saliva. Acknowledge this energy inside your body. Bear witness to it. This inner silence has a lot to do with a sense of devotion to your own temple. It is to do with a sacred attitude you cultivate and a sense of non-violence to yourself and to others. It brings a certain awareness, which brings in a sensitivity, which allows you to watch the energy of what you are trying to culture by word, by sensation, by the very energy you create around you. Just watch the sensations inside your body. Just stay with it. Just be a witness to this silent sanctuary inside yourself. And let this be the foundation, the soil today. This is also the Tibetan New Year. And it's the most beautiful time for them too, because they begin to harness a sense of compassion for everything in our lives. Today is the day you cultivate that sensitivity to compassion to all. Let it become your karma, action. Let it become your dharma, your duty, to remain compassionate. And it's from today in the Tibetan calendar for the next 15 days. Whatever you choose to culture as part of your life will become almost expanded to multitude layers. So if you choose to deposit your anger, to deposit any feelings that you may have which is untoward, which is nurturing a sense of deep, negative, dark energies inside, today's a day you can resolve that in this inner silence and watch it extinguish itself as you embrace a new way to be and culture this for the next 15 days. Withdraw from what there is around us right now. And while we're in this state, I want to just share something beautiful that Paramahansa Yogananda said many, many years ago, which I think today is very poignant. And these are his words. He said, "Through these trials, we learn the lessons of life. The tests are not meant to destroy us. They are made to develop our power. They are part of the natural law of evolution and are necessary for us to move forward from a lower level to a higher level. You are so much stronger than all your evidence." And I think, in a way, this is where we are also currently in our lives, in many, many ways. And I want to also say that the culmination of these planets today is actually almost an astronomical phenomenon called Doriphoria. Only missing the Mars for that right now. But the last time such an event happened was in February 4th, 1962, I believe. And this was a time when several parts of the world, countries found their independence. And so we need to just harness this Aquarian period, which comes with a sense of brother and sisterhood. And it brings a sense of truth in our lives. And it works with the element of water a lot right now. So just hold that within yourself and look at all the difficult and challenging perspectives that have been presenting themselves in our lives, and watch them just precipitate out, because that's the nature of alchemy. We can actually do that. So whatever tensions, whatever confrontations, whatever different ideals we're being presented with right now, what we are going to do is rebirth ourselves, so we're not living with this limitation. And right now, with this Pluto in Capricorn in its last 5 degrees of influence, the most powerful is inviting power to change hands. Uranus in Bull continues to transform the way we see our values and how we exchange them. And that's where we are. This is what there's a tradition where they call this this yod, which is the finger of destiny. An astrological aspect between Chiron, which represents right now for us the virus, Saturn, the structure, and the upward, which is the new, which is in conjunction with the wheel of fortune, which is the harmony, balance, and expansion. And that is the finger that points towards an inevitable change, towards a new humanity. So bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand over it, and let us embrace ourselves in this silence and culture this within our consciousness, so we can ride with this new wave which is available to us, the compassion of the mother and the water element to guide us through this meandering journey. Acknowledge this space. Acknowledge your navel. Don't forget your navel for the next 15 days. That beautiful primordial fluid is going to support a rebirthing if you so wish. It's an opportunity for us to use the cycles of the sun and the moon to culture a new way. Take a deep breath in and breathe it out. Create that sacred attitude. Embrace your temple. Drop your chin down. And what I want you to do with me, chant Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Because in this transformation and transcendence, what is happening is there is a primordial Shakti called the Mauna Shakti, the Shakti of silence, which ignites a fire. And when she ignites fire, she brings in Shanti, which is peace. So just chant with me on the next exhalation. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Watch that permeate through your being. Bring a softness between the eyebrow center, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the intuitive guide. And very, very slowly, absolutely slowly, because we want to be a direct witness to our inner silence. Open your eyes and drop your gaze to the ground and give, once you're fully awakened, give your gratitude to the earth. Give your gaze, and through that gaze, being a silent witness, give that gratitude. And then when you're ready, in your own time, once you've done that, completed it, bring your hands down, palms facing upwards, and come and join me with your eyes open. I think I may have overrun my session a bit, I'm not sure.
Thank you, Arti. May we stop the recording now?